I am Thorne, blooded witch of the old ways. I am fated by the sun and visioned by the moon. My form is given to me by light, and I stand feet firmly in shadow. I reach my hands to the sky, so mote it be. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Let me just show you something. So this is what it should look like at the side of the tree. Exact same spot. So at least now you've seen it, and that's kind of what it should be like. As you can see, that's the other side and the middle, so at least you can now go back and compare and see what you see. I guess is the word I'm trying to get across. I can't zoom in any further. Dear me. You'll have to apologise if the phone blips. It kind of does that, yeah. So, I figured while I was here and out and about, I'd bring up the introduction to the Thorne blood path of the witch, the different way. There's a few points to make in this introduction that's needed, and that is the fact that there is no reed. You will not find a Wiccan reed in the Thorne blooded witch. So there's no laws, there's no rules, so to speak, because it is a belief what is sent out comes back anyway, and it's also a belief that if someone does you wrong, it's okay to send back too. And that's just the belief. So there's no Wiccan reed or law, none of that exists. There's none of this, I guess, like with your New Age Wicca, you have different days for different things, etc. So different colours associated with different days and such and such. There's none of that in the Thorne blooded witch's path. None of it. The only things that really count are the plants, the white round lady, and he in deep wooded places. They're what count in this path. You will also find that even though within training tools are needed, these tools that are needed, not so much after training, just requires you yourself and your energy more than anything. The consecration of the tools are very different to how you would consecrate them within the New Age Wicca. Very, very different. And I'm going to go through it all with you anyway. It's important to also know that the actual consecration's only needed the once. It's something that's done once. Yes, there's cleansing with sage and such afterwards to reinstate and restart a ritual, but the actual consecration's only done once. Once those tools are aligned to you, you can begin working your magic. And that's what I was saying, that's what it should look like. Hopefully you can go back and better understand the video by me showing you this. So yeah, it's consecrated and binded to you once, and that is all. You will have 2 shadow gardens. I say 2 shadow gardens, not really, because you'll have one normal garden, then you'll have a shadow garden. And even though both gardens are used for magical purposes, one will have your rose plant central, and it will definitely have the more poisonous plants in there. And these more poisonous ones are the ones that you need to have knowledge of and you need to be careful of too. So there's major differences in New Age witchcraft and old witchcraft. People don't realise the difference that there is, and it is quite a lot. It's very much connecting with nature. Now, just because I didn't fully follow that path does not mean I don't remember it. I was brought up that path. It's just that I branched out, so to speak. I wanted to experience different things. I wanted to research different things. That was it, you know. It's also believed this path is path of DNA, and the DNA comes from human fae DNA, that, you know, they are bred from that, basically. I myself believe it's in all our DNA. That's the difference. I believe we all have it within us, no matter what is path, and I believe if we truly look within ourselves, we will find it. The magic, you know. But yet, my nan was very strict on the fact you had to be a particular DNA. Something else that I probably didn't realise as I grew up, I always wondered why I connected with nature so well. Now I know. Because it's rooted in you as soon as possible, basically. It's the first thing that you learn is to get rooted within your nature connections. So, and I kind of forgot along the way, got lost a little bit. I mean, I'm bound to. When you lose someone that close to you, it can send you a little bit higgledy-piggledy, and that's what I did. But I am happy with who I am and what I see and what I do. I'm very happy with it all. I can honestly say that. So no, I don't believe it has to just be DNA. I believe it's in every single one of us. We have the ability. We just need to maybe wake it sometimes because it's slumbering. And I believe it can be done anyway. Anyway, within your belief system, as long as your heart is true and pure. Because remember, there is things that will come back on you, but there is no law. It's just that we have to treat people with the same respect we would want ourselves to be treated, and to know that if they do us wrong, that's okay. We have something on our side that in turn will create their karma. It may take time, it may, but it will happen. The karma will be created regardless, is what I'm saying, and that's just a fact for everyone, every single person. That's just a fact of life. But the shadow garden, yes, something that we'll get into. You have to be very careful. They are poisonous. You have to have knowledge. This is why when you're born into this particular path, one of the first things you'll learn is herbalism. So that's why I guess I'm an advanced herbalist now, because I started from a young age. But this is just the introduction. It's not the first part. It's just me explaining that it is very, very different to the New Age Wicca. You know, it's completely different. There's also the fact that, of course, there's feminine and masculine. There is in everything in every single one of us. But the way to empower those is to bring them together, not particularly subject them to feminine and masculine, but more to purpose of soul within. There's many different aspects of it, you know. It's a very intricate path, but very different. Very different. You'll be able to go back now and see. And as you can see, I am literally outside, so I don't really have anything on me other than a couple of bits, nuts and stuff for birds. And the Thorne-blooded witch, by the way, the rose plant is the first step to the Thorne-blooded way. The rose plant is to go central to your garden where you are going to bury your ritual items when you are doing spells. They will all go within the thorn part where the rose bush is planted. There ideally should be white and red roses within this area. The red rose central, the white rose should be around, because on the star, and it is called a star, not necessarily a pentagram, by the way, even though it is a pentagram for it. Yeah, well, on there, they're actually red on the outside and white on the inside, and I'll explain that later. Now, this is why you plant your rose. Before you put your soil upon your rose, you want to 3 drops of blood, of your blood, in rainwater, and you need to pour this over your rose bush, over the crown of it before it's buried. Then use your hands to place the soil and bury the crown within the ground. That's when you can stand and say, I am a witch of a thorn-blooded rose, the old ways. That's when you can stand and say that I am a celestial being of the stars, fated by the sun, envisioned by the moon. I am given form by the land, feet firmly rooted in shadow, and I raise my arms up to the sky. So that's what you would say. You could say it that way. You could say, I am of thorn, blood of the old ways, and I am fated by the sun, envisioned by the moon, given my form by land, and I stand, feet firmly rooted in shadow, with my arms stretched out to the skies. And so it is. And that's how you start your journey. Simply the planting of the rose, planting of the rose bush, and 3 drops of blood in rainwater on the crown. Arise, state. But remember, this is a path that does have blood within it. It's it's a covenant of blood, essentially. But within that, we do believe that the waterways are kind of like the Earth's blood, and that the plant DNA, the liquid in plants, that's their blood, and then we have our blood, but we're all linked. So, you know, it's kind of different with this way. So that's how you start your journey if you want to start that way. Love and light, people. Blessed be.